I think because being Singapore, we are multicultural society, stuff like that. And then we are so-called more westernized. So our culture is constantly being eroded by, just time itself. And then I think most of us have this same 概念 that 你做这个做到这样辛苦，为何你还要继续做 ？Is to preserve our cultural heritage. Because I would say I myself, 100%, I still some things I don't know, and then I don't blame it on anyone in fact, because this is the way it is in Singapore. Like our culture is constantly being eroded. So I think all of us are just playing our part to try to ensure this thing goes on and on, however long it can. Like, yeah.
What do you foresee the future of this craft? Because I did mention earlier, like you can easily mistake this
for wayang.
Like in general public, they might see wayang, face painting, very straight up, face painting equals to wayang. And then this is wayang on the road, when you guys are doing the parade. How do you foresee the future of youngsters picking up this craft, knowing that this is not wayang?
I think the main thing is to educate them from the origins where it starts, and then what the generals are actually doing their part in every profession. Then I think educating them on why we are actually doing it, instead of just seeing them, like you mentioned wayang, to a very general public, you see that you fear, you don't understand, so you start to judge. But I think through education and through understanding, you let them know why we are actually doing this, what's the purpose, and to get them to be more interested in what you're doing. Yeah, people will start to understand, start to accept, and also respect what you're doing. And given that, I think that's how we should preserve culture in the coming future. Because now culture is it's a mystery. Every families in Singapore, they are not guiding children according to culture, so it's a dying art, you see. Yeah, so education is one, to let people understand, and also the backstory of why we are actually doing it.
So in fact about like people mistaking us as wayang is very common, and then because to them, like you mentioned, as long as it's a face paint, they think it's okay, maybe either wayang or paint. But in fact we are very different from paint. Our game paint. Then
we are also not mediums.
Like Ben mentioned about culture, and then youngsters especially not understanding. It relates back to the whole problem that we are increasingly westernized. It's not increasingly, we are very westernized society, and then it is, to be very frank, impractical for a Singaporean to be like preserving culture and stuff like that, because like in a meritocratic society like us, if you want to spend time on preserving culture, can by all means go ahead, but you'll lose out in the overall rat race. And so a lot of people choose not to immerse themselves in like stuff like that. They just prefer to work and whatnot, and then so we can't blame them for not understanding as well. Because that's where we play our part. Like for example, we practice the culture, and people like you take video of us and try to promote us, stuff like that. Yeah, so it's quite sad lah. I feel like being mistaken is one thing, and being ignorant is another thing. So I would frankly say most people now are just they don't know, and they also don't want to know. Yeah.
But they act like they know. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. Which is actually very sad, because it's a very beautiful ritual, and the stories behind it, and what all of you represent and do. But then obviously with what they see, it's just the image. The first image they see is this. Then okay, they just say they associate you with, or maybe it's wayang,
Yes.
or maybe tangki. Then
When
that's
we
it.
go
Don't want.
temple possessions, right? Let's say the least of people, they know that we are actually not mediums. But even with troupe, we got our own area that people cannot intrude. That's for us, because we have our own practice. But people, they know that we are not Kitong, so they sort of like don't respect you in a certain way. So they will just try their luck to just do things. But as us, we have our part to play to keep to that certain levels of the rules that we
And the integrity of the ritual
Correct.
itself.
So when we do that, some of them, they are not happy.
Oh, yeah.
and then that's when confusion starts.
Right.